the things. Those two things to me are the two things where we should see as creators of content.
Thank you, Sharonda. All right, so
For me, good content is engaging and impactful. If you're making content, like Sharonda said earlier, you are engaging an audience. You're not making content for yourself. So content must be engaging and impactful. You must make an impact. If it is even to spark one idea or spark one conversation in one person who watched your film. For me, that is good content. Is it relevant? Is it necessary? Is it going to go far? That's it.
I think filmmaking and storytelling is all about eliciting a feeling, and if we make content in the way the word is used today, TikTok and so on and so forth, where it's very quick and you skip past it because you're not that interested within 3 seconds, that's not personally what I'm trying to achieve with my filmmaking and performing. I try to make things or write things that make people feel something, whether it's scared, like you're on a roller coaster, but you're in the comfort of your own home, so really and truly you know you're safe, but you get that adrenaline rush, to laugh with your friends, to cry, to hear emotive stories that are thought-provoking and stay with you past one watch. And I think that the way that we achieve that is to write from things that we know. And it doesn't mean you have to tell your whole life story in every film, but if the seed begins with something you've experienced and you know how it made you feel, then if you can transport your audience there with you in the story that you tell, you know they're going to have a similar feeling. You're not guessing. And I think that's what makes for me, that's what makes good content. Things that make you feel something.
and Saman, what do you think?
I will piggyback off what they all just said. It's really about telling a compelling story. Everyone on this planet has something similar going on in their life. We are all connected to family. We all have had different types of love relationships. And I think the thing that the two ingredients that makes any good show or movie good is family dynamics and some type of chaotic love relationship. And you can put that in any genre. It could be an action, it could be Taken, it could be Being Mary Jane, Scandal. At the root of it is some kind of chaotic love relationship or some dysfunctional family dynamic, right? And I think that's universal. That it doesn't matter. And I think I will add this: COVID has changed people's viewing habits. In America, in other countries as well, people had to sit still for a while. And the only thing that kept the world sane was film and television content to escape. Otherwise, the divorce rate would have went up, the crime rate would have went up, the suicide rate would have went up, everything would have went up. But giving people the opportunity to escape, and we can't take people's time for granted, right? If you're asking someone to sit still for an hour or 2 hours or binge watch a show that you created, you have to take that very seriously and execute a very compelling story. And also make sure you have compelling characters. So good story, good characters, and non-stop dilemma is the secret sauce.
I want to focus on something a little bit that has changed, especially since the pandemic, right? There's a big content creator space that's happening right now, and I want to zero in on that a little bit. Do you think there's a difference in good content for social media and that creator space versus or traditional film and television? I'll start with you, Saman.
I think it's the same rules. They're trying to extract people's time. And if anything, we learned that people's attention span is very short. Be disciplined on how you tell your story and how you get to the point, because people are used to watching stories on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok that have quick payoff. So yes, there's a difference, but in the end, you're still telling a story. Even if as you can see, I don't know if my glass is blinking right now, right? Are they blinking? Is it blinking? Yeah. So it's recording. Now, I've documented my whole trip thus far.
You need
And
to stop it.
No, but listen, in the end, by the time I'm finished this trip, I'm going to have maybe, I don't know, 30, 40, maybe an hour worth of content. But I'm going to get that down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I have to tell a story. And I challenge myself, like, you know, I do one pass, I get it down to 7 minutes. Like, okay, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Another pass down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And then I look at where's the fat. I cut it down, and then it's something that's compelling. And so it's a good exercise just in terms of how do I tell a story, get to the point, and still make it interesting. So on one hand, yes, that's the world we live in. The younger generation has a shorter attention span based on social media. But if you harness that energy and convert that over into something a bit longer, still keeping the idea in mind that you need to get to the point and still hold people's attention so they're not on their phone or they're not doing something else while you're trying to present your product. I think it's just discipline in how you tell your story. So, yes, they complement each other in my opinion.
Thank you for that. So, Sharon, I'm going to hop over to you real quick.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so the audience has certainly changed and the way content is consumed has changed. I am from a generation where it's okay to sit and watch a 2-hour film. I enjoyed watching the Titanic and screaming like a crazy person in the theater, right, and bawling my eyes out. But I've recognized that with the proliferation of social media and how things have been presented, I'm fine watching something for a minute. What makes sense to me is that the story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it's weird because 10, 15 years ago, I never would have thought that you could have created and enjoyed consuming something that is so short, that has ups and downs as well. You know, the stakes rise in a minute, you know, 1 single minute. But I think because the audience has changed and because, again, COVID really affected how we consumed content. I remember during COVID, as a matter of fact, I said to another producer friend of mine, I said, where is the audience now that the audience has now become producers? Because everybody is producing content and everybody who has a phone now can just hold up the phone and just make something, yeah? So I think to your original question, which I don't remember right now, but I'm gonna try to say something that sounds sensible. I think, right, that because the audience has changed and the way it is presented has changed, then what is important is that us as storytellers, we stick to the formula because the formula works. It's just a matter that it is shorter because the attention span of the consumer is so much shorter. Answer your question?
That's a good one. So